So I've watched a movie called Short Term 12. It is a movie about four people who work in a group home, and the group home has multiple children in it. Uh, it's honestly a really good representation of what a group home is. I really like the movie. It's a really good movie. It's honestly probably better than a lot of movies that are blockbusters or big movies that there are today. It's fascinating to see movies that you probably thought were like, where did this movie come from? And that movie is that. So I suggest you give it a watch. It's free on YouTube, so you should do it. It actually had me wondering. I don't know what had me wondering. I guess a lot of different things, but one of the big things was like how you can come to process different things in different areas of your life. And it's a little bit more complicated when you're a child because you're just like, where the fuck am I? And it's still the same thing as an adult. Especially when you're comparing yourself to a lot of people around you, and people say don't do that, but it's almost like that's an impossible thing to not do. Especially if they're like around your age, but they're still kind of younger than you, and you're just like, your life was a linear line the entire time, and mine was like not that. And sure, that can make your experience and how you process things better, like you are more equipped to deal with harder things. But when it comes to living a linear life, you don't really understand that, and a lot of people live linear lives, so you're kind of coming out of it seems like you're coming from a really effed up place for a lot of different people, when you're just like, no, life's just different. And I think it also depends on, as you get older, how did you process that non-linear life, and how do you come about your life now. And I think while there are a lot of people who live linear lives, and there are a lot of people who live non-linear lives, it is possible that non-linear and linear can coexist and or just kind of get along. You don't have to be a linear life living individual to live with linear life individuals that aren't you. I should have said other linear life individuals, but I did not. So that's kind of a process of like, it's not a process. It's something that you kind of have to think of as you get older. Of like, as you meet more linear life people, and you start to kind of wonder, what the hell is that? You start to come up with excuses. And actually, no, you actually kind of start thinking about, how did their linear life end up like this, and my non-linear life end up like this? And I think the longer you spend thinking about that, the less time you have to possibly make your life less of a non-linear life. Maybe it's instead of it crumpled up, it's more of what's something that's non-crumpled, but like you try to make it. What's something that's crumpled, but then you unfold it and you try. I don't know what it's called, but something kind of like that, where it's like that, but like you've tried to actually reframe and reuse what you know and what you have. Maybe not to live a linear life like others, but to use your non-linear life, your early non-linear life, and try to make your life linear as you get older. I don't know. So that's an interesting kind of thought process that I thought about while watching the movie. Kind of just thinking about my non-linear life and how it is still non-linear, I would say, especially given the fact that all the people that I went to college with have straight lives, I guess. Like, their lives are one line. It's kind of like an airplane taking off. There's an airport over here, so sitting over here, you see the planes take off a lot, all the time. and you see them just go straight up in a linear line. It's like it takes no problem. There's no issue. Now, when you're in the plane, it's really bumpy, and you're just like, "What the fuck? Am I gonna die?" But from the outside, it looks great. And I guess that's also a metaphor for just human life in general. So, as much as you want to say that they lived a linear life, inside that linear plane, inside that plane, I should say, it's it can be different for everybody. It is different. It's no, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that well, actually, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to film this video and then get out of here because this place is actually closed. But while everybody has that oh my god moment inside the plane, for some it lasts a lot longer than others. And I guess you have to figure out how you're going to deal with that as you get older. I think a lot of people probably, what they say, use that to define them, I guess, and I guess that's true, but I guess some people try to also make that their whole identity, but it's also like, which is also true and something you can do, but I think there's a point in which you are around, the older you get, you're around non-linear people. You're around linear people, and you just kind of gotta figure out, you have to, I think there's a thing where you're mad at them because their lives are linear. It's really nice. You're just like, wow, lucky you, how nice. Oh, gotta go. But yeah, so kind of got to figure out how to make your life. Okay. So the goal is to make your life linear for you, because not everyone's gonna have a linear life the same way that you want to have a linear life. So yeah, I don't know if that made any sense. I don't think it did, but I gotta go because they're here to close up the place. All right, have a wonderful day. 2, 3, 4.